Chapter 2, Learning to See. Adult perspectives and beliefs. In Chapter 1, we've already talked about how we judge and dismiss and assume. So now we're going to take a look at that more in depth. We don't really see through our eyes or hear through our ears, but through our beliefs and our perspectives. To put our beliefs or perspectives on hold, we cease to exist as ourselves for a moment and live in the present. And this is a quote by Lisa DeLipt. Piaget, who is one of our theorists we talked about in the theory overview, his theory looks at development through a biological unfolding. He believed we have an amazing ability to take in and organize information into categories and make sense of it. He called the categories we organize information into schemes or schemas, and the process of doing this organization a state of disequilibrium, which is the motivation to organize the information, and the process that we use to organize that information into schemas is called adaptation. When we organize the information in like categories to what we already have, the process is called assimilation. And we can remember that because assimilation has an L in it, and so does the word like. So we can remember we're putting those in the same categories as we already have. When the information doesn't fit in our categories we already have, then we must change those categories. And we can either do that by changing existing categories and making it different in some certain way, or we can create new categories. And that's called accommodation. And you'll notice accommodation has two C's. And you can remember that by the two C's in the description of this: changing and creating new. Unfortunately, adults often rush this process by not deeply considering new information and assimilate it with their current beliefs and perspectives right away in order to reach equilibrium. As adults, we tend to see what we expect from the past, and we tend to try to make it fit in what's familiar to us. We have to work against that tendency as adults and back away from our judgments and our beliefs and perspectives that we've put in motion through our adult lives. Take a look at the two photos on page 29 of your text. Often when adults look at those photos, their first reaction tends to be, the boy is using the scissors in the wrong way. He is goofing off around with the scissors, or he's goofing around with the scissors trying to get my attention. He should know better than that. The scissors are too close to his eyes. I'd better intervene before he hurts himself. And so you can see those are all judgmental and they're biased. These are interpretations. Descriptions would be, and these are non-judgmental and they're not biased. They're looking at the facts. In one photo, the boy is holding two pairs of scissors, one in each hand, while he holds the scissors as if to open and close them. In the other photo, the boy has two pairs of scissors. One pair is resting on the table, and the other pair is pressing into his cheek. He is smiling. So we want to make sure that when we're completing observations, that we're doing it appropriately and we're doing descriptions. We must focus on the details and the facts, not our judgments or perspectives. And so we want to be objective, focus on the facts. Interpretations are not facts, they're judgments and they're subjective. Specificity, we want to focus on the details and be really specific in those details, add a lot of them. Directness, we want to document direct quotes of what the children or the adults during our observations say. We want to look at the mood, so record the body language, facial expressions, hands, and gestures of the hands. Completeness, we want to describe the observation with a beginning, a middle, and an end. So when we're carrying out observations, these are the components we need to focus on. Objectivity, or the facts. Specificity, making sure all the details are there. Directness, we're adding direct quotes. Mood, we're looking at body language, and again, not the facts, not the interpretations, but the facts. Facial expressions, hand gestures, and then making sure it's complete with a beginning, a middle, and an end.